Welcome to the Primitive Republic podcast, where we talk about the most primitive aspects of man to live off the land, hunt, and sustain oneself. At the core of our humanity, there are things that drive us. A sense to turn back the clock, to get away from modern life, and search for something primitive. Every week we talk to like-minded individuals that are looking to connect and create a community of people, a republic. Now your host, Aaron Schmaus.
Welcome back to the Primitive Republic podcast. I'm here with Dylan Josephson, longtime buddy of mine. I was in the military with him. We're sitting here, we're polishing off a bottle of Montana whiskey. Both of us are Montana boys. And believe it or not, this was actually a full bottle this morning. Well, not even this morning. Well, I guess this morning, but we started this afternoon. Yeah. And so, we've been just sharing stories and, talking all kinds of crap. And so I wanted to have him on the podcast. I talk to him all the time. And, really, we kind of reconnected, what was it, last year?
Yeah, we'd talk once in a while, but hadn't really seen each other in, 13, 14 years?
Yeah, it was a long time. And we got along really well. So we went to basic training together, and MEPS was...
It's an interesting night or two.
Trip. I mean, holy crap! It was. We'll get into the story, but that was something else. So we literally got to watch somebody commit a felony.
Yeah, first night hanging out, we had to part ways quickly because I wasn't going to prison as well.
Actually, I take that back. I didn't. I was with a girl, and somebody else decided to be a cock block.
I didn't know the town. I had to find you. Come get me.
I don't really remember. How did we? Obviously, we were both from Montana.
Ended up in Butte for MEPS.
That was I think that was at the time was the only place in Montana that was a MEPS facility, wasn't it?
As far as I know. I don't know for a fact, but that was where everybody I knew was going.
And for those who don't know what MEPS is, I think it stands for Military Enlistment Program.
I believe so.
But anyway, that's where you go for your military physical, and you basically do the naked duck walk, and they look at your asshole. And,
yeah. No, sir, I have never done drugs. No, sir, I have no felonies.
Watch you, swinging your balls around and stuff like that. Like touching your heels and all that kind of stuff. And you go through some of the most embarrassing questions that you'll ever encounter unless you're just...
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's some pretty embarrassing questions, but we were at MEPS, but I don't remember exactly how it was that we kind of hit it off or whatever. But I know I was doing the Montana High Country Cattle Drive, and one of the girls that was on the cattle drive, I was pretty good friends with. She was one of the wranglers on the cattle drive, and I think I was like, hey, I know this girl in Butte, and let's go over to her house and party.
I think they were having a house party.
Yeah, and wow.
It went from there. Well, the whole crazy part, we were having a great time. Everything was fine at the house party, and then I think we went to go get money from an ATM or something to buy more beer. I don't know what the case was.
Okay, let's before we get into that, let's start from the beginning. All right, so we're partying, right? There's me, you, this guy that I was rooming with, he was, I think he was joining the Army. Go figure. I think he was eating the crayons, something like that. same crayons that he did the ASVAB with, and and he was like, "Oh yeah, I wanna go. I'll pay for all the alcohol."
That's right.
I plead the Fifth Amendment, but I will say that we were having a good time.
Yes, absolutely.
And so we ran out of orange juice, and he goes, "I'll go pay for some more orange juice." And so you, Stephanie, and that guy, I think it was there anybody else that was with you?
It's like 15, 16 years ago, man.
Yeah, I don't remember. But
I know it was at least the three of us.
Yeah. So they go, and I'm hanging out with one of my friend's roommates. I think she was a roommate. And we're having a good time. And all of a sudden, she gets this call because at the time, I didn't have a cell phone.
No, neither did I. This is a long time ago.
Yeah. She did, but I didn't have a cell phone, which already I was understanding that cell phones were going to be the biggest block of like ever.
Have to have them, but don't want them.
And so I kind of roll out of the bed or whatever. I hand her phone, and she goes, "What? What's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, something's going down." What? And she was just breaking up with a boyfriend, or maybe still with a boyfriend. I don't know. Maybe I'm a slut. But anyway, she proceeds to like talk to somebody on the other end of the phone and say, "Okay, we'll be right there." And I was like,
Wait, what do you mean?
What's going on? I mean, I'm thinking of the song Up All Night to Get Laid. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so we kind of, get blocked and everything. And all of a sudden, I don't know, it seemed like maybe 20 minutes later, you guys come back and, dude, you will never fucking even guess what just happened to us. And I'll let you go from there. So,
well, I don't know if he didn't have, I'm guessing he didn't have the appropriate funds that he was trying to pull from the ATM. Because,
so what happened? Why was he even trying to pull money?
Well, I thought we went to go buy more beer, is what the plan was. And he was going to, and orange juice. He's going to get some orange juice. And he was going to pay for it. So we stopped at a bank that had, you go in, just the room. It has the ATM in the room with cameras around it, out of the elements kind of thing. And he went in there and he was using the ATM while we waited in the car. And then he just started flipping out and jerks his card out, punching and kicking the ATM, climbs on the ATM, rips the cameras off the ceiling. And at that point I went, I think we should just go. This guy can stay. Not my problem, man. I'm not going to jail for him. I'm leaving for the Air Force tomorrow.
So I wanna remind everybody, this was my roommate when we were at the hotel. So get back to the hotel, and I don't know what time it was, but it was early in the morning.
Yes.
And
we had 2 days at MEPS, didn't we? It was 2 nights at that Lions Inn something hotel.
Yeah, something like that. In Butte, of all places. I mean, all right. So for those people who have never been at a St. Patty's Day party, the best St. Patty's, a lot of people say...
It ranks in the top 5 in the U.S.
Yeah. Savannah is pretty good. I mean, they dye the river green in Savannah, and Butte beats it.
Yeah, it's a party.
Yeah. And so this is the kind of party town that we're in, and this is where MEPS is. And it's the only place in Montana. So, 2 nights for 18-year-olds is like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was just the start of
It's like Sin City.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
For Montana.
Yeah, it definitely was Sin City.
Yeah, because first night was just the beginning of Sin City. Second night was just as fun, so
yeah.
no risk of jail time at least second night.
Was there?
Not for me. We were both legally 18 and older, so.
You were 18. Was I? Let's see. I left. Yeah.
You had
guess
to
I
join?
was 18. Yeah. No, you could be 17.
Oh, I guess right with your parents.
Yeah, as long as you had permission. But yeah, no, I was 18, but I still wasn't legal to drink orange juice.
No, none of us were. I think I was 20, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You're a little bit older than I am.
Yep.
So, yeah, we get to basic training, and we were both wrestlers. We wrestled. I don't know. I wrestled for 12 years.
Yeah, since I can remember, little guy till senior. So.
Yeah. So I mean, it was like, with wrestling, a lot of people don't really understand the whole wrestling community and stuff like that. It's like a bunch of ball grabbing.
Yeah.
For most
That's
people.
gay.
And it's so much more than that. Like, not that we don't appreciate grabbing balls, but
by far the hardest 6 minutes of your life if you have to go
6 minutes or 6 inches.
They always got more than that from me, but but no, if you have to go all 3 rounds as hard as you can go.
Oh, it's so hard.
By the end of it, no matter how good a shape you are in, you are dead tired.
Yeah.
And no offense to the Air Force, I said it at basic.
Yeah.
Wrestling practice in high school
It was so much harder.
way harder
Yeah.
than Air Force basic training.
Yeah. I set 2 records at Air Force, at Air Force basic training, and they were for pull-ups.
I believe it.
And Haratzis set the push-up record at
Okay.
117, and then somebody beat it 2 days later at 119 push-ups within 60 seconds.
Okay.
And
Did you get Warhawk while you were in there?
No, I got beat.
Beat?
Yeah. Yeah, so you had to set a record for Warhawk.
I thought Warhawk was just a certain amount of time, and you had to get the run a certain amount of time, a certain amount of push-ups and pull-ups in a certain amount of time.
Not that I remember. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember now. It's been a long time, but I know I ran the 2 mile in 6:42, or no, it was 12 something, 12:42, something like that.
You have better memory than me. I couldn't tell you what I ran it in, but I can tell you that I was in top 5 in our flight.
I'm gonna have to look. Yeah, I've got my my record still. It was just over 5 minutes a mile.
Yeah.
That I ran my 2 mile in. And then when they switched over, we were still in the 2 mile when we were in basic training, and then they switched it over to the 1.5 miles, I think, when we went through tech school or AIT.
Pussies.
Yeah. And we're in pretty good shape at that point.
Yeah. Well, there was only, I think, one guy bigger than me in our flight. And I came in
Who's
that kid that I felt bad because we all gave him so much crap because he was always getting us in trouble because he was always, it hurts or I'm tired. He could never do it. And then that one time we gave him a bunch of hell and come to find out he had appendicitis.
I don't remember that.
That heavy set kid.
Was that the same kid that fucking he got called out. He was saying, "Oh, I'm a soldier," and he had to throw a fake grenade in the middle of the flight, and everybody had to fucking fall down.
I think so.
What was his name?
I don't know if I want to call him out.
Lazzarini?
I don't know.
Lazzarini? It was, oh my God, the guy was like a meathead.
Yes. It was like Private Pile.
Yeah.
It was seriously, I felt bad for the guy.
Yeah.
But that one time I really felt bad because he ended up going to the hospital and actually had appendicitis and had to get his appendix removed and was set back a flight or two. I don't remember, but
I don't know. It was something else.
He was the only one that weighed more than me though, out of 55 guys, and I came in the top 5 on the physical. I think you were in there, and what was that one kid's name? It was like started with a CH.
I don't remember.
But anyways,
I remember. So the ones that stick out to me are the BRB, the back row boys. Yeah, we had Areola, the Mexican nipple. We had Mike Haratzis, which Haratzis was a fucking beast. He was a beast. And let's see, who else? We had myself. We had
I think that one kid I'm thinking of is like Chandler or Chan.
Oh, what was his name? Mike. I lost contact with him. I was at Bragg.
That bummed me out.
Yeah, he was.
I know who you're talking about.
He was all good, and I think he kind of went off the deep end because he went to Iraq and Afghanistan and kind of lost his shit.
Him and I were talking for quite a while, and then all of a sudden it was like he never called me back. Like, what the hell happened to him?
Yeah, he kind of lost his shit. And
we had Nunez.
Yeah, God. Nunez. Oh, man. It was something else.
Yeah. Fitzpatrick.
Oh, my God. Do you remember Daniels?
Yes. His buddy, the two that came in together, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, got to tell this story. So, all right. So, Fitzpatrick was this little, like, Irish leprechaun-looking motherfucker.
Little ginger.
Yeah. And Daniels was not much bigger than him. About the same, like, body structure.
A little taller, but
blonde. Yeah. Like, dirty blonde hair. And so Daniels was allergic to wool. And our dress uniform, like our dress BDU, or our dress blues, were made of partial wool. So he couldn't wear them and allow them to touch his skin. So he had to wear, like, ladies... He had to wear ladies'
pantyhose.
Pantyhose.
Yeah,
that's what it's got. Yeah, so he's wearing these black pantyhose, and they decide. So after you've been there for a few weeks, you realize that there's some loopholes, right? So if you go to church, they can't mess with you.
On Sundays, there was no. If you go to church, there's no chores. Church or chores.
So one of the guys, Douglas, he's like, all right, I'm going to go to Catholic Mass. Catholic Mass is like an hour and a half long, and we had it all clocked out. We had it completely figured out. So at the time, I was Roman Catholic, and that has nothing to do with the fact that I was molested as a kid. And so Douglas decides, okay, during Catholic Mass, I'm going to make it to this, like, break area, and I'm going to go get, like, candy and, like, all kinds of stuff. So he takes money from a bunch of people, and we were on laundry crew together. Yeah. So we got all kinds of shit together. Yeah. Like, we got all kinds of stuff. We got, like, drumstick.
Yeah,
like,
the vending machines were right outside the laundry room door.
Yeah, they had, like, ice cream vending machines and stuff like that. And so, we'd be we'd go in there and we get like ice cream and like all kinds of stuff like that while we're doing laundry, which it was well deserved. You have no idea how many skid marks. But
Wolf. That's all I'm saying is wolf.
Yeah, wolf. So Douglas is like, all right, while I'm at Catholic Mass, I'm going to slip out and I'm going to take everybody's money and I'm going to buy whatever candy they want and I'm going to come back. So he comes back to the barracks and he comes running in and he's like, oh, I got these DIs. They're following me. They're chasing me. He's like, oh, I'm screwed. I'm going to get recycled and all that kind of. And the worst thing ever for anybody that's ever in basic training is that you're going to get recycled. Nobody wants to be
do it all over.
Yeah, nobody wants to be in there any longer than you are. So he's like freaking out that he's going to get recycled. Well, Daniels is wearing nothing except underwear and ladies' pantyhose. Black ladies' pantyhose. And he sits on this chair and he's like, and he's hyperventilating and he passes out and falls on the ground.
That's what I was going to ask next, so that answers my question. I could not remember why he did that. I was thinking he had a seizure.
Everybody thought he had a seizure.
Yeah.
Everybody thought there was something wrong. So somebody runs out. Okay.
It was me.
I don't remember who it was.
I ran downstairs to go find because he wasn't answering the intercom.
Yeah.
All I know is I was told he's having a seizure. He's having a seizure. And I was right there. So I'm on the intercom calling for the TI, and he's not answering. And so I'm like, well, fuck. I'm not supposed to go downstairs, but I better go downstairs. You know, I run down there, and he's not in the shack where they hang out. If they're not answering, you know, he was nowhere to be found. So I'm running down the halls, and I run out to the door on the outside, and I open the door on the outside, and he's out like 100 yards out smoking out in the field or in the grass. So I'm running out there. I'm like, we have a guy who's having a seizure. He's having a seizure. And the TI just looks disgusted, like throws a cigarette out.
How are you gonna mess with me?
Yeah, and turns around and walks in, like just kind of no moving with purpose. It was just okay, same old shit.
I'm used to people passing out in fucking ladies' underwear.
Oh gosh. And yeah, then he came in there. I don't remember what happened after that. I remember him at the chow line.
I remember. So the first thing he says when he walks in, he goes, "What the fuck is going on?"
Because he's in panties.
He sees this guy curled up in the fetal position in black ladies' pantyhose, wearing nothing but underwear, and goes, "What the fuck is this?"
That's right. Oh my gosh.
That was amazing.
He ended up getting in trouble though, because he wasn't at his station that he was supposed to be at.
Yeah. Well.
So when we went through the chow line, you remember when he had to come through, and what'd they call the guy that stood there and told you left, right? Right.
I don't remember.
So you go through the chow line, get your food, and when you come around, they always designated somebody to stand there and tell you which row to go down. And then you go down that row and go seat at the end of the row. And they made him stand there and do that. And I don't remember who was in charge, but I remember walking by, and it was right after I walked by him, and he's like, right. And I went down. So it's like a staff sergeant downgraded to a basic, trainee, and just humiliated. And I walked by him, and whoever it was at the line of all the TIs back there, who was in charge, goes, "Where'd you at attention?" And he starts yelling at the TI, and he had to stand at attention. He goes, right, left. It was hilarious, though.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was. We had a lot of really good times in basic training.
Oh, absolutely.
God. There was. You remember Ashley, right?
Oh, yes.
The fucking.
Fuck that guy.
Small, like, if you ever had anybody with a Napoleon complex,
Oh my gosh.
the dude was like 5'0" and just a complete asshole. And he actually, I don't know if he got kicked out or if he got busted for he lost a stripe. I know for a fact that he lost rank, but I don't know if he got kicked out. But
I heard he got transferred and was basically an officer's bitch. Drive me around.
That's what he did before. So he was transport before he
I think he got sent back to transport.
Oh, really?
Is last I heard.
Yeah, so basically what happened was so while we were in, we had a trainee instructor. And our trainee instructor was kind of cool.
Yeah, she was awesome.
But wasn't exactly what they were looking for, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to explain that exactly, but I mean she was pretty cool. She got the job done and all that kind of stuff. You know, I still remember when you're folding your shirts and stuff like that, it was like you bring the girls in and then you throw them away. I still fold my shirts that way.
I do the same thing.
And so she was pretty cool, but actually he was
There was nothing cool about that guy.
No,
he was just a
fucking
prick.
asshole.
He was just a prick.
And like he got busted because he literally made the latrine crew
lick the toilet seats.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, they're clean enough? You think they're clean enough? Then you lick that toilet seat. You lick that toilet seat.
Who does that?
Yeah. And then
that's my thing. All right, so this is what I really have a problem with. And I'm looking at it now because of all the things that we're having, like with the whole mask bullshit and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Because I saw it happening in the military where literally dudes were licking pubes off of a fucking toilet seat.
I don't care. I would have said, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
You know how hard it was for me that day when he was ranting about something? And he's going off on all of us, and he says, any one of you think you're man enough to take me? Then stand up right now.
You're a fucking cab driver.
It took everything I had not to stand up and just do a reporting. Sir, Trainee Josephson reports his order. I will fuck you up, sir. I wanted to so bad. And I don't know why I stopped myself, but recycling. That's all I kept seeing. Nope, I'm going to get sent back. I'm going to get sent back. People. But I wanted to stand up so bad and say that to him.
Yeah.
Because I knew for a fact I could lay that motherfucker out.
Yeah, so he ended up, I know for sure, got busted in rank. But I don't know if he ended up getting kicked out for it. But all because he made the latrine crew lick the toilets.
One of those guys, their uncle was a major or something.
Something like that.
That came for graduation, and he told him about it, and he, oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, let's take care of this problem.
Yeah.
So that's what I remember.
Yeah. You remember Sergeant Smith?
He was the tall black guy, right?
Yeah, the ladies' man.
Yes.
So if you ever seen the movie The Ladies' Man,
come buy you a fifth sandwich.
So he had a lisp. He was like a 6'4" skinny black guy, and he'd have this like, it wasn't like a deep bass voice, but he'd be like, all right, you guys. Oh, so everybody was fucking off in the front of the front of the barracks, and I remember mine was the back of the first barracks, and everybody's like playing around and being stupid and all that kind of stuff in the front, and all of a sudden he walks in and he goes, what the fuck is this? He
Major pain, totally.
Yeah. Except, like, more gay.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to gay people. But, like, the lisp was, like, more of a Mike Tyson lisp.
Yes.
But, like, a little bit higher pitched. And he goes, what the fuck is this? He goes, oh, you all are festive. Everybody get on your face. He's like, oh, I am Santa Claus, and you all are my little elves on your faces right now. And so we all get in the push-up position, and we're getting ready to do push-ups, and he's like, oh, you want to be festive? So I'll tell you what, we're all going to sing Chestnuts Roasting on the Open Fire, because if I have to come back here, it's your chestnuts that are going to be roasting on an open fire. And he goes, chestnuts roasting on an open fire, that is one. And he's like, I said down.
Everybody was laughing so hard because we didn't know if he was being serious or not.
I remember I was laughing so hard. But I was afraid.
Yeah. Still trying to do the push-ups because
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble.
It was like, oh, man. And he goes, everybody, if I have to come back here, I am Santa Claus, and you all are my little elves on your face. And he's singing Chestnuts. To this day, I cannot listen to that song.
Oh, yeah.
During Christmas without thinking of him. You know,
Yep.
he was, so I ended up living in South Carolina. And he was a highway patrolman in the state of South Carolina.
Before or after?
Before.
Okay.
So, like, the entire time, like, after, you know, basic training and, you know, after the military and all that kind of stuff, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, man, I wonder if he ever came back
Right?
I hope I
Who
run
knows?
into him.
That would be funny.
Get on your face.
Dude, the memory I have of him that most stands out is when we got up in the morning and we always did our exercise in our shorts and shirt and tennis shoes, you know, out there. And we did that, I don't know if it was a song. What did we do first?
Yeah, we did the Air Force song like every PT day or something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
it was PT day. We're all in attention. Doing
Off we go.
Yeah,
Out
yeah.
yonder.
So we're doing that, and it ends. And here he comes, just V-lining straight at me. And I'm standing there at attention and gets in my face.
Was he the guidon bearer at one time? Or
No.
was that Driebergen?
That was Driebergen. But he comes right at me, gets right in my face.
Another
How
Idaho.
dare you scratch your face during the middle of that blah, 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 when you're at attention? And I'm like, Sir, Trainee Josephson reports as ordered. I didn't.
Hold on.
I didn't scratch my face, sir. And he just, are you calling me a liar? And I was like, no.
Yes.
I just
You're
think,
a dirty fucking liar.
But at this point, I'm going, did I scratch my face? But I'm going, no, sir, I just think you're mistaken. And he gets pissed and turns around and walks off. And I'm going, fuck, did I scratch my face? I don't remember. And I don't remember who it was, but somebody behind me leans in, sorry, man, it was me. I'm like, you motherfucker. I was questioning myself. Did I
Falcon motherfucker.
scratch my face?
So, do you remember, what was he was the sergeant major, or no, he was the senior master sergeant. I'm confusing because I was stationed with the Army for a while, but so he was the senior master sergeant for basic training. He started with a B. And his daughter was in AIT at the same time we were. And she experienced a lot of freedom. Let's say that.
It's not ringing a bell.
She had fun at the BDU club.
Okay.
And
the BDU club, that's right.
oh man, so I remember at one time he showed up in North Texas, and he was just irate because his daughter, I think, got pregnant. And it was like World War III. Like, I remember he came in the same dorm unit that I was in, and I just happened to be walking out, and I was like,
This was at tech school?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, I know that guy. Where do I know that? And he's yelling like, blah, 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 like giving them a hard time, like
it's their fault.
They were
his
the
daughter
ones that were supposed to be controlling her pussy. It was.
I forgot it was my week to watch it.
Yeah, it was like I would have pulled out.
Right? Trust me. I would have practiced safe sex. I would have
But
pulled out.
if you would have seen his daughter, you wouldn't have touched it.
I'm not sure.
Oh man.
Tech school, now that.
Oh, it was definitely experience. So you were at Shepherd,
Yes.
right? So
STD capital of the Air Force.
yeah, that's not surprising.
It was, if I remember right, it was mandatory to get a penicillin shot when we got there.
Yeah.
Not even joking.
I got one. We got one when we were in basic training.
Yeah.
I remember getting one when we
I
were
got
in basic
one
training.
at Shepherd, though, too.
Well, so I remember getting one when we were in basic training, and I remember sitting there having to go like this with my hands and like run this vial through my hands, and we're walking through, and Areola was the bunk below me, and I was staying on the upper bunk, and I remember we got the shot or whatever, and then the next day I went to jump off the top bunk, and I fell flat on my face, just bow! And I was like, oh, what the hell? Like, I couldn't walk. The entire right side of my body was like paralyzed because it felt like I had this softball in the top of my ass cheek.
Yep.
And I was like, I was like, oh, there's something wrong. And we had PT that day, and I was like, oh.
They do that shit on purpose, too.
I think they do.
Guarantee it. They know what it is.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, and then everybody had to get it again. And I was like, no, motherfucker, I already had this shit.
Mm-hmm. I haven't slept with anybody. I know I'm clean. But what cracked me up was it was a female doctor in Shepherd, and they wouldn't let me go in with her for to get an STD check and a penicillin shot.
Oh, run the cotton swab.
Yeah, and I'm like, I didn't ask for this. And it was, maybe I'm wrong. It's been damn near 20 years. I could remember it differently, but I swear to God, I didn't ask for it. I never went in there and asked for one.
For that
exactly. And I just remember having to go in and get the Q-tip up the dick and then a shot in my ass. And it was a female doctor, and they had to make a guy come in to watch. And I'm in there. I'm like, well, this wasn't my idea.
Don't ask, don't tell, motherfucker.
Exactly. And I didn't ask her to come in here and strip me down. This was you guys made me come in here.
Oh, there was a lot of sex in AIT.
Yes. It was ridiculous. I didn't have any of it, though.
I'm not going to mention any names of any females at that time. But I am going to say there had something to do with some restricted areas. Maybe some prior enlisted and some trainees and...
All my extracurricular activities happened after Shepherd Air Force Base. I was actually pretty good when I was in... Holy shit, you know, I just realized... I owe you a portable DVD player.
Yeah, you probably do.
I do. I just remembered that. Because I was on dorm guard, and you let me borrow it. and I went down the hall to talk to some girl that I'd been talking to. And when I came back
after
up,
I switched rooms. I remember that now.
I came up and it was gone.
I switched, and I ended up having to go over with Quinn because my previous roommate, I don't know if you remember this, what was his name? Anyway, so my good buddy, even still to this day, is Dan Stoneburner. We were roommates, but he ended up leaving. He had jet propulsions, something like that, and our roommate at the time was I don't remember what he did, but we caught him jerking off to anime porn.
I think I do remember this. It sounds familiar.
Like, it was like weird. Like cartoon, like Japanese porn.
It's a big thing, man. I don't know. It never, did it for me, but there's a lot of it out there.
Yeah. So I want to say, was using my DVD player at the time. So you don't owe me a DVD player. You can have it.
I just remember I was pissed because I was on dorm guard and I hated it. It was so stupid.
Oh, it was so
It was
boring.
mandatory, and you had to sit
All
there.
it was a drunk check.
Yeah. And I was on like the second or third floor. So it wasn't
So
even
it wasn't even a drunk check.
No, you just sat there. You didn't do shit. So I was so bored, I was so irritated. And that girl I've been talking to, I can't even tell you her name now. But I went down real quick to talk to her, and I was seriously down there for like 10 minutes just to talk to her, and then came back up and it was gone. And the DVDs I had stacked there were gone. And I was like, motherfuckers. And I went down door to door to door, and obviously nobody's going to admit to it, but
Yeah.
I was ready to fight. I was so mad.
Took off. Yeah. You know what was surprising to me is how many kids came out of tech school. You know how many females were pregnant?
Oh, how many kids? I see what you're saying. I'm not surprised at all.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So, like, you know what was really surprising to me, and I didn't realize this because we didn't have a sister flight. So we had what was considered a brother flight, which was all males. They keep males and females separated, and if
Most
you
of them
have,
had
yeah,
a sister flight.
Yeah, if you have a female unit, which is not specific to the Army or, the Marines, stuff like that, the Air Force is much more inclusive for, like, females, right? So you would have, like, an all-male flight with an all-female flight in the same unit, and they would call that a sister flight. So they would put the male flight over here and the female flight over here, and in the center would be like a rooftop. So the males would sneak out of this like little tiny fucking window, and so would the females, and it was like this awning window that would just like roll out like this, and they would go out and they'd fuck on the roof. So many women were pregnant in basic training. Like, I'm not even joking. They get to tech school and they would be pregnant. And they'd be like, well, I don't know who the dad is. That many?
That many?
Bitch, it was 6 weeks.
Where was I for this? I never got to go on the roof.
That's because we had brother flights.
Oh, shit. I'm glad I didn't go on the roof.
Well, I mean, you can't get pregnant if you're a guy. So, Prison love.
Completely unrelated. I don't even know why it just popped into my head, but Michael Lund. No offense, bud. Just finally remembered your last name. Not related.
Yeah. There were so many people that, Doc Stetter.
Yeah?
Doc, he ended up becoming an officer.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
He became an officer. Desolate. I keep track of him.
Yeah, him and I are buddies on Facebook.
I just sent Areola some Montana whiskey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I just sent him a bottle of whiskey.
Did you know Drebergen?
Oh yeah, fucking another Idaho.
Yeah.
Another Idaho guy. I think he was in the same unit that Doc and Dreberg.
Yeah, I like
Doc and
Desolate.
Desolate were.
The 3Ds from Idaho.
Yeah. Fucking Dick and Dick.
Yeah. Well, I ended up getting stationed in Mountain Home, so I hung out with those three all the time.
Oh yeah.
And so, but Drebergen, Desolate and I are still buddies. Doc Stater and him and I had a fallout because he thought I was sleeping with his girlfriend. And I never did. I never did at all. Like,
well, this is good because I'm going to share this with Doc because I'm still friends with Doc.
oh, good.
So,
Dude, okay.
Which he's married to somebody else now.
Okay, good.
FYI, Doc Josephson didn't sleep with your girl.
I swear to God. Dude, no, okay. So somehow it ended up, I went partying in Boise. And he had to leave or he couldn't be there or something. And his girlfriend was going to take me out to these house parties. He's like, she'll take you out. You have a good time. Okay. So I ended up going out with his girlfriend to these a couple different house parties. And we had a good time. I went my way. I went home. Nothing ever happened. But somebody told him that her and I hooked up. And I don't know where it came from. He never even questioned me on it until I was out of the military and back in Montana. And I get a call from him one day. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? You know, and he's like, I got a question for you. And he asked me, I need a serious answer. Did you sleep with my girlfriend that night you went up partying with her in Boise? I said, no. I said, you want to know the honest to God truth? I felt like I could have. I felt like she was hitting on me, and I probably could have. But I don't do that to my friends, and I never would do that to my friends. And no, I did not. Never talked to him again.
Future learning experience, don't ever say that.
Well, I was being honest. This is my buddy, you know. I was being honest with him. I was like, I'll tell you the God's honest truth. I didn't, but you better check your girlfriend because I'm pretty sure I could have if I really wanted to. And yeah, he never talked to me again after that. So.
Yeah.
My conscience is clear.
Man, I really miss those guys because they were a lot of fun.
You remember Desolate passing out when we got the blood drawn at basic and he hit the ground?
Desolate was the most goofy
he is such a goof
that I've ever seen in my life. And oh man, I want to hang out with those guys again. They're not that far away. I think they live in Boise.
Yeah, they're in Boise.
So
I felt bad because I was going to meet up with Desolate that one time. I was down there. Sorry, you probably don't know, but I was going to hook up with him and go out. And I don't remember what happened. I got in late at my sister's house because she lives in Nampa, right next to Boise.
I've actually got to go to Nampa after not too long for one of the sponsors. So.
Okay. And yeah, something happened. I wasn't able to meet up with him. I felt bad, but I'll have to next time I'm around there.
Yeah.
Been a long time.
We'll have to sort it out. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us?
Yeah.
5 of us that are up this way. I mean, we're not really that far away. We're
no.
gonna have to work that
I mean, for me, I think it's about 8 hours, 9 hours for me to get to Boise.
Like 6 hours for me.
Yeah, you're a lot shorter. But the quickest, well, there's a couple different routes. I can go south, but the quickest route is all interstate is to go up to Billings, over to Bozeman, Butte, drop down to Dillon, and over to Boise. It shows that's the quickest route.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't realize that would be the quickest route, but
you can it says it's about the same amount of time. There's like 5-10 minutes difference to go the southern route, but that way is all interstate. So, but yeah, I need.
Yeah, we need to.
I need to.
We need to set that up.
My sister's in Nampa. My mom and my stepdad just bought a place in Fruitland, so that's like a half hour outside of Boise. So I have no reason to not go there. And now my brother and his boyfriend.
Your brother and his boyfriend.
Yes, my little brother and his boyfriend are in Twin Falls.
Okay.
Or Idaho Falls, one of the two. So they're right over there too.
That's like few hour difference.
Yeah, I think they're 2.5 hours from. So whichever one's 2.5 hours from Boise. And that's another whole story. My brother was in Army, and
makes sense.
Yeah, but smartest.
Apologize to all my Army friends out there.
Smart as hell. The dude pissed me off since high school. I mean, one of those guys that never cracked a book, never studied, ace a test every time. Like, fuck you, dude. I spent 3 hours and I got a B, studying, and I still could hardly pass it. And he would never study and get straight A's. Joins the Army. I joined the Air Force. I want to travel. Send me somewhere. They put me in fucking Idaho, 8 hours from my house, and never let me go anywhere. Hated it.
Not me.
Yeah, I know. You got what I wanted. I wanted it. Just send me some. I don't give a shit if it's Korea.
I went all over.
Just send me somewhere. And they wouldn't. I got stuck there. So my brother goes. He's in Africa, Germany, Kuwait, Qatar, Iran, Iraq, Egypt. I mean, everywhere. He's in Germany. Gets sent to. Gets on a. He's a 3-star general's.
Security detail.
No, his bitch basically. He makes sure he has.
Is it because he's gay?
No,
really?
Nobody knew
really?
at this
You
time.
Homophobe?
Right? Nobody knew. No, he just made sure this general had internet, phone, anything he needed at all times. Wherever they went, he set it up.
Oh, so he signals.
Yeah, like when they were in Kuwait and Iraq and Afghanistan, all these places he went. He'd have to go out and repair fiber optic lines, and do that kind of stuff. Getting mortars shot at him while he's out there fixing lines. And anyways, he's finally in Germany. He goes while he's in Kuwait. He gets sent to a class. He's the only enlisted. The other 8 or 9 people in there are all officers. He passes the class first out of all and he's the only enlisted, and he had the highest score out of all of them. So they're like, all right, well, let's give you a week's vacation. You can go to Qatar for a week. Send him to Qatar, and he just
hell of a vacation,
right? But he gets a week off to just do whatever he wants in Qatar.
Doha is not that bad.
Yeah,
Doha is not that bad. It's like a beach vacation.
Okay. Well, he screwed around there for a week. Ends up in Germany working for this 3-star general. Wherever he goes, my brother goes, and. He calls me one day, and I said, "What's up, man? What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm in the only 4-star or only 5-star hotel in Africa."
Oh, poor baby.
And I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" He's like, "Well, we just flew in from Germany. They couldn't get military flights, so they rented a private jet and flew him and a general and 2 other officers from Germany down to Africa." He said, "We landed. We got in a big armored, like Chevy Suburban, and we had Humvee in front, Humvee in back with a gunner, and they took us to the hotel." And he said we did 60 miles an hour from the airport to the landing strip. I don't know if it was a full airport, to the hotel.
Probably not a whole.
Yeah, and he said it was dirt road with potholes, dogs, kids. He said we didn't stop.
Yeah.
If there was a kid in the road, they ran him over, and we kept driving. And he said because they'd send a kid out to the road to stop and then ambush you. He said so they just didn't fucking stop. They just drove, and they made it to the hotel. He said he was there for 2 days at the hotel in Africa. He said right now I'm sipping a $25 Jack and Coke, and shit. Said they were there for 2 days. Got back on the private jet, flew back to Germany. Said, we need you to be ready in 2 weeks. We're going to fly back to Africa. And he said, okay. He said, I hadn't even unpacked my bags. I kicked my feet up in the chair, was going to take a nap. I had my bags on my bed. I got a call 20 minutes later. Never mind. Pack back up. We're leaving in 2 hours. Got back on a private jet and flew back to Africa 2 hours later. And I was like, that's cool and all, but it's glad to see our taxpayer dollars hard at work.
This is probably the end of the video, but we're going to keep going with the recording. So you're going to have to jump on Libsyn or, iTunes, whatever, to hear the rest of this conversation. But looks like I'm out of data or whatever for my camera. So anyway.
All right.
Yeah, so we experienced a lot of that stuff with with some of the trips that we were on. You go to Kuwait City, and it's like $90 to $110 a day per diem.
Yeah.
And it's like, plus you get paid back for all of your GTC, your government travel card.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, okay, you get your GTC, then you get $110 a day per diem, $90 to $110 a day per diem. Everybody jumped at that.
Hell yeah.
You know
what I was making in Idaho when we were in the Air Force? I was getting $550 every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I found one of my pay stubs.
Yeah.
From when we were in basic training, and I found it like a few months ago, and I was making just over like $300 every 2 weeks.
For them to just kick you in the dirt and tell you how worthless they are.
And at the time, I was like, man, this is good fucking money. Now I'd be like, you'd be lucky to give me work for 2 hours for
right?
like $300.
Dude, even then, I knew it was shit. But when I went in the military, it was like, I got to do something for my life. Because I flew down to California, and they had a heavy machinery program, mechanic program. And the guy was had come and hunted with my dad when he had an outfitting business. Well, I get out of high school, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And he says, why don't you come down and take this test? I said, okay. So I flew down to California. It was in San Bernardino. Go stay at his place. He's got a fucking mansion on Snob Knob up there, and just gorgeous. He's like, come stay with me. I go up there, just absolutely rich part of town. Takes me down to take this test. Well, I was one of probably 450 people that took the test, and they only accept 20 people every 2 years. I think they take 20 people into the program. And so I go down and take the test. I got a 96 on the test. Wasn't good enough. And I'm like, well, shit, what the hell am I going to do with my life? So I go back to Montana, join the military. Fuck it, and join the military. While we were at basic, we were getting mail. I got an acceptance letter to go to the heavy machinery mechanic program while I was at basic. And they tell you can't get out of basic. You're in now.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah. Well, there are loopholes to get out that I didn't know about until after the fact. And I could have got out and took that heavy machinery program, which everything happens for a reason, but it's same as the SEER program. Qualified for SEER at basic. Ended up...
It was a great school, by the way.
Ended up not doing it and regretted every fucking day of my life that I didn't do it. And so who knows what would have happened. I mean, if I would have, I probably would have loved my job, stayed in the military, never met my first wife, and had 3 kids.
Well, and your wife now is cool as shit.
Oh, I love her. She's fucking awesome. I couldn't.
So she called earlier today, and I was like, hey, what's up, baby? And she's like, hey, Aaron.
Instantly. She knew where I was. She don't play.
Super, super cool. And, like, you have some people that can dish it out but never take it.
Yeah.
She is not one of those people. She will give it just as hard, if not harder, than she takes it. Which makes
we
her
have
free.
prank wars all the time. And it's usually her instigating. Nothing mean, but just she loves to do crap like she wanted a new sink. So I'm installing a new sink.
Was she the one that caused the vasectomy? Was that a prank?
No, number 6 child was like, okay, I'm getting a vasectomy. I don't need 7.
Worst idea ever.
Oh my God.
And I'm gonna post a picture.
Go for it. I'm not ashamed.
Dude, so when you look at this picture, it's oh my God.
And it's not even as bad as it got. That was like a week after the vasectomy, and 3 weeks after the vasectomy, I was purple from damn near my knees to my nipples.
If you have ever thought about whether you should get one or not, this might make you think twice.
I fell into the 0.03% of people that suffer a massive hematoma.
That's a 380 tag.
Yeah. Shit. I've been buying lotto tickets ever since, and I ain't won shit.
That's because you already won the lotto once.
But
I don't know if that's a good way to win, but
no, I didn't win anything. Trust me.
You won something.
But anyway, she loves to do shit like I'm replacing the sink in the kitchen, and I have some butt crack hanging out, so she'll come up and squirt some maple syrup down my butt crack, or some dish soap. So then you start moving and bubbles are coming out, or I'm in the shower and she'll come around the corner and squirt me, just hose me down with baby oil. You can't even wash this shit off. And so stuff like that. But we have a good time. I got her so good one time. She squirted shaving cream in my mouth when I was in the shower. I was like, are you kidding me? So I got a little in her mouth. She's like, oh, God, it's so terrible. And she opens her mouth as wide as she can, spraying water in her mouth to clean it out. So I just reached around and just filled her mouth with shaving cream. And so we have a great time. She's awesome. Baby, I love you. But
oh, yeah, she's really cool. Yeah. Well, all right, we're right at about an hour. I guess we'll call it good. We got an empty bottle of Montana whiskey. For those in Montana, you can only get into Montana. Check out Montana whiskey. I think they're getting ready to expand. So go out and check them out. And we're going to...
That's very good.
Finish this little glass. It's pretty damn smooth, right?
Yes, it is. And actually, real quick, we were just having a talk. Monterey and I were just talking about this because I watched a show called Kingdom. And I don't know if you've seen it. It's about like cage fighting. And
I haven't seen it.
It's a good show. But everybody in that show is an alcoholic. They all drink. It shows
everybody in Montana is an alcoholic.
I'm not. I gotta say,
Montana anymore.
I'm not in Montana anymore. But today is the most I have drank in probably 3 years, and
that's surprising since you're on unemployment.
I know, right? And anyways, everybody in that show, they always pour a glass up, put ice in, pour a glass of whiskey straight, and just drink it straight. And I told my Monterey, I said, God, am I just a pussy or what? Because I never drink it straight. I always have to mix it. I sit down with you and I drink this stuff straight, and I'm like, you know what? Not too bad. I can handle it. But
yeah, I'm gonna have to tell Monty. Yeah, no, it's actually really, really smooth stuff. We're drinking the bourbon tonight, which completely out of now. So Montana whiskey. I'm gonna have to stop by over there in Missoula.
Heck yeah.
But no, definitely if you're in Montana, grab a few bottles, bring it back with you wherever you're at, and it's good stuff. You won't be disappointed. But in the meantime, keep checking out the Primitive Republic podcast, and we'll continue to bring you good content. We've got a few different hunts. We're going to be joining the Outdoor Wild Legacies, and we've got a podcast with the Outdoor Wild Legacies where we're going to be interviewing those semi-unknown people in the outdoors, and those guys where you walk into their house and they've got like bulls and bucks and all that kind of stuff hanging everywhere, and you're like, damn, I had no idea. I didn't even realize you hunted, And so those are the guys we're talking to on the podcasts and on video and all that kind of stuff. Plus, we're going to be bringing different hunting tips for all different types of species, different fishing tips. We've got professional athletes involved in the company. So we've got Josh Fields, who is a former White Sox pitcher. We've got Lance Sellers, who played for the Miami Dolphins and Atlanta Falcons and a couple other teams. We've got Rocky Jacobson, the former founder of Rocky Mountain. Well, not former founder. He was the founder of Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. And, we've got professional guides and all that kind of stuff involved in this company. So I'm like the least credentialed person in the entire company. So you've got some really good guys to lean on with the podcast, with the videos and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be doing some really fun stuff, different videos and making fun of the gear wars and all that kind of stuff. You got all the gear queers and, they're, you have to have this gear.
Oh, we had this talk earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
going to have to do this again and get it more in depth down some more rabbit holes, because there's a lot more I'd love to talk about with you.
Absolutely. But yeah, you got those guys that are 100%, you have to have this gear and all that kind of stuff. But I remember hunting in blue jeans and flannel.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
And a JanSport backpack.
The biggest whitetail I've ever shot, 156, non-typical. Well, not really non-typical. He had a couple kickers, really. But 156 whitetail in Plains, Montana.
That's a very decent whitetail.
I got him in a pair of tennis shoes, blue jeans, and a T-shirt in 2 to 3 foot of snow. Because I saw him while driving to a basketball game, and then spent the next couple hours of my day tracking him up the mountain with my dad going, are you sure he's worth it? I'm like, he's fucking worth it. We're hiking over this mountain till I'm following his tracks till I get him. And we hiked for a good couple hours till I came across him. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a common misconception, too. My whitetail, the one that I've got on the cabinets right over there, he was a Kalispell mountain whitetail. I had never even thought that whitetails were in the mountains.
Oh.
And he was just standing there like 40 yards.
Biggest ones I ever seen were up, at the top.
Yeah. And I never thought that was the case. I always associated muleys with mountains and whitetails with lowland.
You would think.
And that was not the case in a lot of areas that I've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some pictures now of some really, really nice whitetails in mountainous areas. So anyway, that's beyond the point, but
till next time.
Yeah, till next time, I'll definitely have Dylan on again, and hopefully next time we can get Monty on.
Yeah, shoot, I think she'd have a blast.
Oh, Motormouth?
Yeah, oh man.
She would have a blast. But anyway, it was great talking to you, and continue to listen up to the Primitive Republic podcast. We have, I've got tags in Idaho, Montana this year. I missed Wyoming.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll shoot the big buck this year for you.
Fucked up. I fucked up. So, if you want help, I'll be more than happy to come and help you. I definitely owe you that.
Not even. I had a blast.
After last year. So, I got my Wyoming antelope buck, antelope does, muley buck.
Two muley does.
So, the muley buck, my pack weight was 117 pounds.
Was it?
Yep.
Okay.
117 pounds.
Boned and packed out.
Yeah. He was a beast.
He was a big boy.
Yeah. So I kind of owe you. That was 2 pounds of walking through clay bullshit. Or 2 miles. 2 miles of walking through clay bullshit.
All you owe me is another fun hunt.
Yeah,
So.
we'll definitely do that.
All right.
We'll definitely do that. So, yeah, keep in touch. We got a lot of really cool stuff coming up, and more stuff from Montana Whiskey. They're going to be doing our kill bottles. So our celebratory whiskey bottles, coming up, and we'll definitely keep you in touch with all the new stuff that we got going on. And if you're interested, follow Dylan. What's your handle now? Is Dylan Josephson, right?
I just have Facebook, man.
Yeah, is Dylan.
Yep. Josephson. Josephson.
Yeah. So give him a follow, and you'll be able to find me. Obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, so you'll be able to see his wife, and hopefully they'll be able to follow what kind of pranks they do. I'm really hoping that she does all these pranks, because she talks shit about all these pranks.
Oh, she does them all, but she'll just have to start videotaping and putting them on.
Oh, yeah, outside of the purple walls.
Yep.
Which, by the way, you see that. It's gonna be.
I'll tell her to start recording.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a good one. Thank you for listening to the Primitive Republic podcast, and have a good evening.
Thank you for listening to the Primitive Republic podcast, an Aaron Schmaus media production. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Primitive Republic. You can also find us on our website at www.archeryoutdoorsman.com.